Hey, Pastor, have you ever slowly started treating something in your ministry like it belonged to you? What if the very thing you're building, the thing that you're protecting, is the very thing God entrusted to you, but never intended for you to own? Hey, friends, welcome to Pastor Soul Reset. These are a few minutes to slow down, sit with Scripture, and realign your heart, because before you lead others well, you got to remember Jesus is leading you. In Mark chapter 12, Jesus tells the parable of a vineyard owner who leases his land to tenant farmers. When the harvest comes, the owners send servants to collect what belongs to him, but the tenants beat them and reject them and finally kill the owner's son. Now, this isn't just a farming story. It's a direct confrontation. The vineyard represents God's work. The tenants represent Israel's leaders. The servants represent the prophets. And the son represents Jesus. And here's what makes this so sobering. The tenants didn't fail because they were lazy. They failed because they started acting like owners instead of stewards. So what does this reveal to us about the kind of leadership that Jesus provides? Well, Jesus reveals himself as the beloved Son, sent not just with authority, but with compassion. Even after rejection, God keeps reaching. Even after resistance, God keeps sending. This parable shows us that Jesus knows that he's going to be rejected, and still he comes anyway. Jesus trusts the Father's ultimate purpose. This isn't just a story of judgment, it's a story of relentless pursuing of love. And here's why this matters. We can be deeply involved in God's work and slowly forget that it's actually his work. We can build systems, grow attendance, lead teams, and still drift into ownership instead of stewardship. Let me share something that I've had to learn the hard way. There were seasons in ministry where I felt the weight of responsibility and it was heavy. And without realizing, I started gripping things tighter than I needed to. Not out of pride, but out of pressure. And that subtle shift, it quietly moved me from trusting God to trying to control outcomes. So here's a principle for leadership. Healthy pastors steward what belongs to God. They don't possess it. And here's the reflection. Where in your ministry have you moved from open hands to tight control? You see, this passage invites a reset from ownership back to surrender. We shouldn't be saying, this is my ministry, but we should always be thinking and saying, this is God's vineyard, and I'm honored to serve in it. Here's a couple of ways that we can live this out. Release control in one specific area this week. Just release it. Maybe it's a decision, or it's a person, or it's an outcome of some kind. Secondly, verbally reframe your mindset every day, always thinking, God, this is yours. It's not mine. As we finish today, remember this one thing. The moment we start acting like owners of what only belongs to God, we lose the very heart of what makes ministry fruitful. Next time on Pastor Soul Reset, we'll look at how Jesus redefines authority and allegiance and why what you honor most will ultimately shape how you lead. This carries a leadership lesson that unfortunately some pastors are overlooking. Hey, if this brought some clarity, some encouragement to your soul today, take a second, hit subscribe, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And most of all, don't forget that as you are faithfully carrying others, Jesus is carrying you. I'll see you next time on Pastor Soul Reset.